And where down we go, oh, 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 where down we go, oh, 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 so where down we go, way down.
All right. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to episode 3. So since the last episode, I have done a little bit of cleaning up. I commandeered this house over here just to clean up my inventory because I was lagging with so much stuff. So I've got general materials here, some food here, more of my precious stuff there, and then just some general stuff there. I also set up a little bit of a food farm here just to survive for a little bit. And then I also just did some general looking around and some thoughts for the future. So I think that this right here, I did a little bit of mining out. I'm going to mine it out further, and that's going to be my chest room where I'm going to hold all of my important stuff, and pretty much just all of my storage. I definitely think that over here is going to be on top of this mountain that I'm going to probably flatten out. It's going to be the industrial complex. I feel like that's going to be where all of my farms and all that stuff's going to be. And then obviously up top on the mountain over there is going to be my house. As you see, I'm going to have the path go all the way up there. So I think today I'm going to continue some of the terraforming up there, because I got some food, but I have this little farm going here, so I'll probably check up on that in probably 10 minutes, let that grow a little bit more before I replant it again. So I just need to get more picks and shovels, so then I can start digging over there, so I can get should I do house or farm? I think I'm gonna do farm, so I think I'm gonna start over there. Because I think farm will be more important in the long run than a house. Because, I can make a house at any time, but, I kind of need my farm squared away relatively soon. I think 4 shovels should do, and then, 3 pickaxes. Yeah, 3 pickaxes. That should be enough. Button. Oh, also, do you like my skin? I've used this one for a very long time. Let's get the pickaxe. I don't need an axe. Oh, actually, no, there'll be trees, so I gotta cut down the trees. So I probably need one more axe. So I need to cut down some trees over there. Clean out that area. Put this stuff back here. I think the topic for conversation in this episode is probably gonna be reality TV shows. Because recently I've been watching The Challenge. The MTV Challenge, and it's a really good show. I've been really enjoying it, and I think it's a topic that not many people talk about on YouTube, which is a shame because it's a really good show. It's been around longer than shows like Survivor and Big Brother and all those, but it doesn't have the mainstream notoriety that those shows do for some reason. Probably because it was on MTV for a while the other ones were on CBS, and it was able to get more publicity than The Challenge. But if I had to do, in my personal opinion right now, a ranking of my favorite reality TV shows, I mean, The Challenge would probably be top 2 or 3. The only ones that are really close to it would be, obviously Survivor, because, I mean, it's the original, and there was the first shuffle already. Survivor, because it's the original. It was obviously The Challenge might have been around a little bit longer, but Survivor was a hit longer, and many of the shows since then have geared itself to be like Survivor, to capitalize on Survivor's notoriety. But I feel The Challenge is probably 2 or 3. The only one that would probably come close to it would be I don't know, Amazing Race or something. But I feel I think The Challenge is probably 1 or 2. It and Survivor are definitely on its own playing field. The others don't really come close to it. I don't know. One of the reasons I feel The Challenge is such a good show is because it was on MTV. Being on MTV, it had a little bit less corporate censorship than like a show like Survivor. So there was more stuff they could get away with doing. Something like they'd go out drinking every night and there'd be constant fights and swearing and all. I mean, it fit the demographic I'm in right now perfectly because it's just so funny to watch most of the time, the fights that they get into. And also, I think the main thing that I miss about Survivor is when the challenges were super hard. Because now they've made it a little bit more accessible for everyone, but the challenge doesn't do that. They're still hard challenges even today, which has made it still fun to watch the newer seasons like Challenge USA. But one thing I feel like that the challenge does that sets it apart from every other show is its common use of a similar cast. I know that might be a knock on it by some people, but I just feel like the cast that they have, that core group of like Johnny Bananas, CT, Wes, Anissa, Cara Maria, Camilla, Leroy. I mean, it's just, they are so good. And they're so funny. I could just watch a show of just them in a house. I mean, obviously that's just like the real world. Because they all came from real world, which I mean, I know Survivor does returnee seasons sometimes, but I feel like every season of and those are really good. Like, some of my favorite Survivor seasons are the returnee seasons, because obviously they're established people, and they don't have to spend half the season getting to know the people. And that's what the challenge capitalizes on. We don't have to get to know Johnny Bananas every season, because he's done it 19 times. We know who he is, and we love who he is every time, because he's so funny. But the thing is that not only are they funny, they're also really good at the game. So they can continue to bring back the same people, because you know you'll get a competitive season every time. Because they're going to be battling for that win every time. It's not like the same person wins every time. Obviously, Johnny wins a lot, and CT wins a lot, but like, other people do win quite frequently, and it makes it to be quite an interesting show. Right now, I've probably watched, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 seasons, and even though a lot of them have very similar casts, I find them all to be incredibly interesting. How far down do you think I should go? I think I'm just going to go like all the way down to here. So I'm just going to start making a little perimeter. I just find them all to be so funny. Which is something that I did love about the Survivor, because obviously, like, Tony and Boston Rob and all these shows, one thing that The Amazing Race doesn't do quite as well as the other ones is bringing people back. I mean, obviously, they've done it a couple times, but the characters aren't as big on The Amazing Race as in a show like Survivor or The Challenge. It's not as character-focused, but it's more of the spectacle of them traveling around the world than it is the people actually traveling. Which, while that's what that show does very well, can sometimes rub me the wrong way, because I'm like, I want to know more about these people, but they're not always showing that. Which, I don't really mind that a ton, but that's one thing that they definitely do different than The Challenge and Survivor. Another thing that, I don't know, is a little bit different, obviously, The Amazing Race is a completely different show than The Challenge or Survivor, or any of the other really reality shows, because most of the reality shows confines their cast to a house or an island or something. Like, they don't just let them go across the world. Like, that's not the whole point of it's a different kind of reality show than the other shows that they're commonly compared to, like Survivor or The Challenge. Because they're not, they travel around the world the entire season, so like they don't have one set location. While that might be a positive for some people, for me it's a negative, because I do enjoy the concept of them all being locked in a house or an island with nothing to do except interact with each other, because then you get some super fun interactions, like CT getting kicked off of like every season he's on, or people on Survivor going stir crazy because they have no food or something. It's what makes The Challenge and Survivor what they are. Is while it's a competition show, it's also a social experiment. because it's seeing how can these people, I don't know, form their own kind of society inside this shared experience they're having. And obviously they do, because like they're together for most of the season, and aside from times where they do get in fights at the end of the season, and most of them are friends. Because like the challenge has really become one big family at this point with the amount of times they all do the same seasons. So I mean, it makes it into a fun to watch, because you know that they're all enjoying themselves because they're all friends. I think that's definitely a big plus, because they're definitely, like, in Survivor, after the season, most of them will never talk again, because while they were friends while they're not there anymore, so they have no reason to communicate anymore. Which, unlike that, the challenge, unlike the Survivor, the challenge, they're all on the same seasons together over and over. So I mean, you gotta get. Most of them are friends, and all of them, like, the next season, like, could be a continuation of a plot from the season previous that you just finished watching. Obviously, that has changed recently as the challenge was bought by CBS, and has start bringing in some more of its Survivor and Big Brother and Amazing Race players into the game. It creates more. It kind of dilutes the amount of vets that are there, which honestly, that's how the show is gonna survive, because the vets can't. The vets from the original few seasons can't play forever. They're getting older. Like Bananas and CT are now each over 40. And like people we know, like Darrell, who's like the original beast, and Mark Long, like they've all retired. So I mean, they need to bring in the next crop of people, and I think opening the door to other reality stars that we already know and already have formed connections with was a super smart move that they made. And even though I hate that they have like Michelle on the challenge, like from Survivor, because I feel like she didn't deserve her win in Survivor. I'll get into that one in a whole another one. I don't even want to go there right now. I'll probably make a whole long form video about that one, not just a podcast. But like, I already hate her, so I mean that brings a storyline into the season with me before the season even starts. So I don't have to get to know her. I already know I don't like her. So I can go right into the season with an idea of how I'm gonna feel about the season in my head, and I think that just makes it super fun to watch. Because constantly it's like, oh well, Michelle's here, and I know she sucks. So I mean, I think that was definitely the way. It was a super smart move by CBS or by MTV and CBS to merge together and be able to save the challenge. Because I feel like it was kind of treading. I mean, obviously they were making fantastic seasons like The Rivals and The X's and Battle of the Seasons and War of the Worlds, but like at the end of the day, MTV saw the writing on the wall and saw that their core group was getting older, which sucks because I don't want to see them stop. Like I'm currently watching through the second season of Challenge USA, and Wes announced that it would be his final season, and that really was sad because I mean he was the man, Mr. Elimination for watching all the old seasons. He was great. So him not being there is definitely gonna kind of suck. Hopefully you have a couple more years of Bananas and CT before they eventually hang up the boots and retire. One issue I do have with the challenge now is all the records for like most money won are gonna slowly start to be the big names like Darrell, who won 4 seasons in a row, but they were all early seasons. He's not even in the top 15 for most money won on the show. Ashley B is in 3rd for the most money won on the show. She's won over $1 million on the show. She has 2 wins. She passed CT and Bananas up until recently, who had 5 and 7 wins, respectively. It took them 5 and 7 wins to pass her 2, because after being bought by CBS, the challenge had more money to spend and more money to give out to its winners. So, I mean, just imagine if all of CT and Bananas' wins and Darrell's wins had come during the CBS era. They'd probably be in $5-6 million. Because, I mean, they got a lot of money from dailies, and they get their money from winning, and that's the only thing I really don't like about them moving to oh, I'm out of shovels now. That's the only thing I don't like about them moving to CBS is the, I don't know, the money. A lot of the money records are slowly gonna start being shifted to the new people more than ever. So like the OGs are gonna start to lose their staying power there, which is unfortunate because I mean they were the ones who built the show from the ground up and made it what it is. Ooh, cold. Which is unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Yeah. It's unfortunate to see them kind of being phased out, but it's just the way. We'll remember them with all their daily wins and their total wins, and I don't think we'll ever see someone. I mean, it took Darrell got his 4th win in season 12. It took 10 seasons till season 22 free agents for Bananas to pass that and get his 5th win, and Bananas was dominating. And I don't think they're going to have people dominate like that anymore because they're bringing in a wider pool of people, and people just aren't playing the way Bananas did before. I mean, they're playing a lot nicer game, which, though that is unfortunate, it happens. That's pretty much all I've got for the reality TV show part of my spiel. I don't know. It was really fun to... I don't know. Reality shows are always fun because obviously it's real people. It's not scripted. You never know what's going to happen. I hope you liked... I hope you liked me talking about the reality shows. I mean, because if you want, I mean, I love reality shows and would be more than happy to, what's it called? Do more about different, shows. It's always something that I've had an interest for, and I'm never going to really stop watching reality shows. I'm not going to just stop watching. They're always fun to watch. So I'm always going to be willing to do that. So, I mean, if you want me to make videos on it, I can. Even if you don't, I probably will because I want to, because they're fun to make videos about. And they're pretty easy to make videos about because it's just like, hey, this was funny. I thought this was funny. They were pretty good at this. They're pretty good at that. I don't know. Also, one thing that I was thinking about was possibly, like, inviting some friends or, like, my brother or some other people on this also and, like, just playing with them and then talking, because I feel like that would just add another level of intrigue into it. Like, oh, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was super fun for me to make, and stay tuned for episode 4, which will probably be a very mining-centric episode. I think that's what the plan is going to be for episode 4. So, I mean, hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. If you're lucky, you might get another one this week. That's kind of my goal. We'll see if that ends up panning out.